Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. If you guys remember a couple videos back, we did the most to try and disguise our washi tape inside resin. Now I used the most beautiful paper style washi tape from the washi tape shop. This one here, gorgeous. Now everything will be linked below if you're interested in the washi tape, but this is really to talk about the fact that we managed to use a technique to truly disguise the washi tape inside resin. Like, you cannot tell it is washi tape at all. Now, following on from this, it was always my intention to try the exact same technique with the PET clear washi tape. So that is what this video is all about. I also found this one. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. We're not going to be using this in today's video. I just really wanted to show you that because it's stunning. This is the clear PET washi tape from the washi tape shop. And again, I've used this multiple times on my channel and we always seem to get that outline. We can always see that it's in there. Again, it doesn't take away from the beauty of the pieces that we make, but sometimes we like to kind of disguise these things and hide it as much as we can. So here we are, we're gonna try all of the things and see if we can get the same results that we got with the paper washi tape. Let's go. The molds I'm using. The molds I'm using are these round pendant molds. They are from Amazon, just shy of 4.5 centimeters. They're perfect for what we're experimenting with today. Now, I will be using the Let's Resin UV resin, and I'll also be using the Let's Resin polyurethane for my base. Now, this is entirely optional, and I know you can't get this in the UK. This is the one you can get in the UK. It is the Polycraft polyurethane in white from MB Fiberglass. Now, equally, if you want to use my discount code, you can get it direct from I Love Mixed Media here in the UK. Again, everything is down below. I'm not an affiliate. I do not earn commission if you go ahead and buy this, but yeah, these are the two options for speed. Alternatively, if you've got all the time in the world and you're using your washi tape, then go for it with your epoxy resin and just tint it to the color that you want. I am going with white, so if you wanted to go with white, you would use your white dye or any color you want. A little bit of glove ASMR action here for you. New website coming soon. Just kidding guys. I am also using my PPE. If you are new here, I am very much into my PPE. The respirator I have is the GVS Ellipse half mask. It is the A1P3 filter that you need for toxic gases and fumes, and I got this from Screwfix Direct here in the UK. Equally, you do need to change your filters every 4 to 6 months, or as soon as you start to smell things. If you can smell the cooking going on downstairs, then it is time to change your filter. Or any perfumes, deodorants, as soon as you can smell, change your filter. Okay, let's get down to the actual video. I am mixing up my polyurethane. This is a super fast cure resin. It's a 2-part. Stir for around 30 to 40 seconds. You'll feel it heat up in your hand. Then it is time to get it pouring, and then you can demold after 10 minutes. So I am following the exact same kind of route as I did in the last video using the paper washi tape. I'm just filling them all up to the top, but not very top. Like, I'm not giving them a dome. I'm just giving them enough so that I can top coat them as well. And at this point, having a dome does not lend itself well to giving a nice smooth top coat. Super speedy, quick time cure. Sped up for you. This does cure over the space of 10 minutes. Now, for the PET washi tape, you do need to cut the PET images from the plastic backing. It's not as simple as the paper one that you saw in the other video where they are individual stickers and you can just peel them off. For this one, you do have to cut out the image that you want, and for that I'm using my rotary tool blade. Again, not sponsored, but oh my goodness me, it is a game-changing tool. You would have seen me use this in many videos. You hold it just like a pen, and the blade itself is a 360 rotational blade. And no effort needed. No effort needed. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want to cut the actual PET washi tape away from the backing. You want the backing to still be there so that when you peel it up, you are literally just peeling up a sticker. And yeah, I thought I'd show you this as well, even though it's, you know, it's not part of the technical experiment, but it's so easy to use. And it's honestly, highly recommend if you're using this kind of clear washi tape and you need to actually physically cut out your images. It is a banging tool. This washi tape is so gorgeous. Again, all of the washi tape is from the washi tape shop that you see me use in this video today, and the details with your code are down below. Here is a close-up. I thought, let me give you a nice close-up so you can see the tool in action, and we've got some close-up of the knuckles. You're welcome. I'll be good at this one day. Okay, so my polyurethane pieces are fully cured. I'm simply taking them out of all of the molds and I'm laying them down in front of me. First off, my plan here was to do exactly the same as the last video. Put my washi tape down onto the polyurethane, rub it well and truly in with my finger, and then use a cloth. So that's my shirt sleeve. We are rubbing it to within an inch of its life. We are proper burnishing this washi tape down onto the surface of the resin, just to make sure that whatever we do here today in this experiment, we're giving it the best shot we can, making sure that every millimeter of this washi tape is properly adhered to our surface. Then I'm using my scissors to cut all of the excess around from the edge. Honestly, I don't own a decent pair of scissors. Every pair of scissors I've got is covered in absolute rubbish. But yeah, could have done a better job cutting around those edges, but this is what it's looking like. It's looking pretty good at this point. So this is a standard, put the washi tape on, give it a top coat. That is the very first step, the same as we did in the last video. And my expectation from doing it this way is that we will be able to see the edge of the washi tape. The clear PET tape and the resin, there's just some kind of interaction that occurs around the edges. And I was not wrong. My expectations came to life. This is what we've got. So again, I went straight in with a top coat. We didn't do the rub coat, which we're going to do next. It's just straight. It's literally put your tape on, put your top coat on. This is what we see. We see almost all of the edges of this washi tape. The exact same result that we got when we used the paper washi tape a couple videos back. Now, this is what we're trying to disguise. This is the whole point of everything I'm going to do in this video. We're trying everything in this video. Next up, I decided to make it a completely fair experiment. We are going to cut out exactly the same image from the same strip of PET tape. Now, again, I'm using my tool. I'm just showing you here how easy it is to cut, but I wanted to make it as fair as possible, cutting out exactly and placing it down onto the pendant in pretty much the exact same spot as well. I just think this is going to be so much easier for us to compare what it looks like when we've given them a UV rub coat. Now, if you missed the last video, go check it out to really fully understand what it looks like with a paper washi tape. So if your main thing is paper washi tape, go check it out for sure. Again, same situation. I'm cutting all of the excess off from around the edge using my dodgy scissors, and then I'm giving it a well and truly solid rub with my sleeve to make sure that I have fully burnished that tape down to the surface. Now we're going to rub coat. So this again is just a pea-sized amount of UV resin. Using a gloved hand, we are rubbing this completely and utterly over the surface of the washi tape, paying special attention to those edges. It's those edges that I want to disguise. So really and truly, most of the rubbing and most of the work is going into those edges. I want those edges to be invisible. I don't want anyone to know this is washi tape. That then goes under the UV light for a minute, and this is what we're looking like. So this is the rub coat, first coat. We're now going to top coat it as you would any normal piece. So now this is going to be top coated in exactly the same way that the one on the left was top coated. Same way again, I'm using my cocktail stick to bring that UV resin all the way to the edge, treating it exactly the same as I treated the first pendant, only this one had the rub coat. Now I do also use my lighter here to get rid of any bubbles, even though I didn't show that, I didn't show that me doing the first one, but I did do this with the first one as well. So they've both been treated equally. 1 minute under the UV light, and here's the result, guys. So Massive, massive difference. But here's the thing, it's not 100%. It's not like it was with the paper. So the one on the left, you can see all of those white spots, almost fish scale-esque, shimmery white areas. The one on the right, definitely nowhere near as white patchy as the one on the left. So you can already see there is a huge, significant improvement in using a UV rub coat on the clear PET washi tape. But, capital B, it's not a surefire 100% result like it was with the paper. So I could still see little flashes of the edge. Nothing compared. But I could still see some flashes of that edge. Now, I'm adding this part in because I decided instead of just carrying on using the pendants that I've made, I'm actually going to make it a coaster. We're going to do 50-50. I felt like this would be a much easier way to see them side by side, left and right, exactly the same thing going over the same way. So 2 identical parts of the washi tape. Now, one thing to mention, when I cut these out, I have cut them out proper ziggity, like zigzaggy, proper hickledy-pickledy. The edges are about as zigzag up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west as you can possibly get. The edges are jagged. That was purely so that we could truly see what level of disguise we are going to get in these washi tapes. Now, I've written on there, so it's just so easy. I've just really enjoyed this one. I've written on there so we can see. The one on the left is not being rubbed. The one on the right is getting that UV resin rub coat first to try and disguise these edges. Now, again, I know I just said it. I don't want to keep repeating myself. God, Claire, you are a parrot. Yeah, proper zigzag edges, guys. And that is what is going to really help us to see. You can see here, like, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. You can really, really see these edges. And this is going to put it to the test. I feel like by doing it this way, we're really going to put it to the test. The one on the right, it's had its rub coat that goes under the UV light for a minute. And now it is time to fully coat both of them with a top coat and do the most. Like, I am doing the most at this point. I'm just making sure that that UV resin covers every single edge of that washi tape, and they've both been hit with a torch and both gone under the UV lamp. But here's the thing. I pretty much cremated the UV resin. I put way too much on there, but check it out. The one on the left, no rub coat whatsoever. You can see every single zigzag line. But the one on the right is not that significantly better, but it is better. So the one on the left here, you can see those scales again, those white flashes of like iridescent, almost kind of like fluttery, shiny, shimmery white areas of just scaly. I don't know how else to describe it. Fish scaly. Fish scaly. It's got that white patchiness to it. The one on the right hand side doesn't have that. We don't have it running throughout like we do with the one on the left. But because I've messed up my UV resin top coat, I put way too much UV resin on here and I put it in for 5 minutes and it really has wrinkled the surface. So it's not the most ideal experiment to actually not do it properly in the first place. But you can still see a significant difference between the one on the left and the one on the right. So this time around, I decided to try and do a better top coat just to be sure that we are seeing what we're seeing. Now, I put so much effort into rubbing these. I literally rubbed these two on to within an inch of their life. Like, if I was at a chocolate cake eating competition, that is how much effort I put into rubbing these on with my shirt sleeve, just to make sure that we are now in the ends of this experiment. We're going to make sure that we are definitely doing it right. The one on the right is getting a rub coat. The one on the left is not going to get a rub coat. and we're really going to see if this is worth it. Again, I'm treating them exactly the same as I treated every other piece that I've tested. The one on the left, straight in with a small amount of UV. I don't want to overdo it like I did on the other side of the coaster, because again, we got those wrinkled results. This is it. They're going to go under the UV light, and as soon as they come out of the UV light, I'm only putting it under for a minute. As soon as they've come out, this is what they're looking like. Now, the one on the right, again, was the rub. So we still have to give that one a top coat just to see if we can see much of that edge. But I'm already seeing the edge on the left hand side. I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing those white fish scales. I'm seeing those blotches where it just didn't really get the rub that I think it really does need. So now it is time to give them both a nice thin top coat, put them back under the UV light, and we will know for sure. The other thing to say is that I still did give them a super zigzag left, right, up, down cut, because I wanted to see the edges. I wanted to see if we could see those edges. And I must admit, this isn't as bad as previous. So even though I can still see the edge of this one, it's not as bad as the other side of the coaster, and it's not as bad as those first pendants. However, there is a significant difference again between this one and the rub coat. You can just see it. My UV resin did wrinkle up again. Again, I put too much on, but you can see it. You can see that there is a significant difference, even though the one on the right is now giving me white fish scales. So honestly, at one point, I'm not gonna lie, I was losing my mind. I was losing my mind. This one, the other side of the coaster, is actually a more clearer result, despite the rubbish UV job on the top. It is a clearer result. We're getting those white patchy fish scales, and the one on the right just doesn't have them. Next up, I decided to try, like, what if those white fish scale results are simply air? That's simply air trapped below the clear PET washi tape. Why don't we give the pendant some UV resin, push the PET tape down onto the UV resin, squish it down so there is no air under there, and then we'll cure that under the UV light, and then we'll see what that looks like. Because maybe, just maybe, those white blotchy fish scaly iridescent areas are air pockets. So that's what I did. I put the washi tape down into UV resin, and it's not. it was absolutely awful. It was even worse than if I simply put the PET tape down straight onto cured resin. Like, you honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting some kind of miracle result here. But yeah, that is not the one. So to me, that says that they're not air pockets. So pendant number 1, washi tape straight on resin, top coat. You can see all of the edges. Pendant number 2, rub coat. You can barely see the edges, but it's not 100%. It's 99% there. 99% there. The difference between these two is obvious. It is stark. There is definitely a massive improvement. This one here, I don't know why I bothered. I put it straight into UV resin. It doesn't work. It gives the same results as the first one. It's scaly. You can see all those edges. Now I decided, what is it going to look like if we give them a nice, neat cut? Because I gave them all of the zigzags, the up, the down, the left, the right. This way around, we're going for a neat circle. Now, I know you're not going to necessarily want to cut a neat circle when you've got an image, but it might help to make as few cuts as possible. So go like a really smooth, wavy line around your image. Will that give us a better result than going with the zigzag in and out, trying to get every intricate detail cut out? So this way around, 2 pendants, 2 circles, we're splitting these straight down the middle. So on the left hand side of each pendant is going to be rubbed. We're giving these a UV resin rub coat, and the right hand side of each pendant is not getting touched. We're going straight in with a top coat, nothing else. So again, you've got my glove, you haven't got anything. I've got my gloved hand and I'm rubbing the UV resin in, fully rubbing, like fully rubbing the left hand side of each pendant. That goes under the UV resin light for 1 minute. And now we're top coating. Now both pendants are getting a normal UV resin top coat, remembering that the right hand side of these pendants has not been touched. They get a hot flash with the lighter. I've drawn a line down the middle so you can see the difference between the rub coat and the not rubbed is unbelievable on these two. Like, it is unbelievable. Look at this. Just look at this. The difference is real. The results speak for themselves. That was a nice round edged cut. Of course you can still see the edge because the image is cut in a circle. But what a difference. What a huge difference. So does it work with the PET tape? Absolutely yes. Are the results as wow factor as the paper washi tape? Not so much. I'd say we're 99% there, guys. We are 99% there. But this was unreal. Like, doing it this way, it was so clear. The difference it makes when you rub those edges, because honestly, the edges on the left-hand side, well, Claire, hold them properly. That would help. The tops. Right now, the tops. The edges. Oh, come on, sort it out. The bottoms. One day I'll be good at this. Yeah, unreal. The difference is unreal. Now, off camera, I did just make myself a little bit happy and use these ones. This is the other roll of the green with the gold embellishment washi tape from the washi tape shop. And these are the paper ones. And it's unreal. Like, unbelievable. So these are the results, guys. These are the results. No rub coat gives us all of the fish scale edges. This is the rub coat. Again, you can just about work out that there's tape in there, but it's nowhere near as significantly fish scaly as the others. We've done the half and half rub coat, half not. It speaks for itself. Like, you can see it here as clear as day. This one in the middle, I don't even know why I bothered. It's awful. It's even worse than if you just put the washi tape straight down onto the resin. This was the coaster. Again, this would have been so much more helpful had I done a nice job at the UV resin top coat. But again, you really can see that the one on the left has got all of those white blotchy areas and the one on the right just doesn't have it. But if you look closely, you can still see those edges. They were very much zigzag cut edges, so very prominent, very easy to see. This one again, I felt like this one didn't give us anything really. I can still see the edges almost equally on both. So what's the best way forward? Just UV resin rub coat, guys. Cut your edges on your PET tape as straight as possible. Just simple, really simple wavy lines. Don't be doing those zigzag cuts that I was doing here. Simple wavy lines. If you can cut a circle, but nice simple outlines that really is going to help you disguise those edges. Give them a UV resin rub coat and then top coat. You can top coat, of course you can top coat with your epoxy resin. It doesn't have to be a UV resin top coat, but it is definitely going to make a significant difference in disguising your PET tape as well as your paper washi tape. Honestly, this is a really long video. If you are still here, please in the comment section leave me a heart emoji, because honestly I feel like this was just worthy. I needed to do this for exactly, you know, for you and for myself. I needed to do this. I wanted to know exactly what the results were going to be from using the clear PET tape as well. So I hope you found it really helpful. If you have, don't forget to give me that big juicy thumbs up, hit that button, and if you've not yet subscribed and you're still here, then you really want to be here, so come and join Claire's Crafty Corner. And yeah, thanks for being here, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.